Hello everyone and welcome to another Unit Forward moving picture. I'm Alex, editor of unitforward.com, and today I'm going to be looking at basing, and specifically basing a dust miniature using Basecrafts basing materials, which is what you can see here on the table. Basecrafts is a company located, I think they're up in Yorkshire, and here in the UK, and they are, I think they're an awesome company, and selfishly I want everyone to go and buy things from them because I want them to stick around. They make awesome basing kits like this, which you see here. This is the winter kit, which I'm going to have a look at. And they also sell things like AK Interactive products. They sell Ravage magazine, secret weapon washers, all kinds of cool stuff for modeling. So yes, basecrafts.com. Go over there, buy something from them, support them because I think they're awesome. And this isn't because I'm sponsored by them or anything. I'm not sponsored by anyone. Unit Forward isn't sponsored by anyone. I just think they're awesome and they deserve to stick around. So today I'm going to be looking at the winter basing kit, which is what you see here on the table. I recently bought this because my Axis Force has a kind of a wintry Arctic kind of look to them. That's the kind of thing I'm going for. My gaming table is also going to be winter based as well. So I bought this kit to do some basing on my Axis, and after I've shown you what's inside, what you get in this kit, I'm then going to base this guy, a Battle Grenadier. He's actually the Battle Grenadier leader. Try to get him in shot. I think the shadows are kind of stopping him from showing his face, but then he is an Axis Battle Grenadier. He wants the last thing you ever see to be his face. So yes, I'm going to be basing this guy with some of the components of this kit. So let's take a look and see what you get inside the kit. And to start with, you get snow. It is a winter basing kit, so it'd be pretty silly to have it not have snow. You'll see this stuff in more detail a bit later on, but basically this is soft flake snow, very powdery kind of snow. And you'll see on the back it's actually got a Woodland Scenics sticker. This is a Woodland Scenics product, because Basecrafts have some sort of an agreement with Woodland Scenics to produce some of their stuff for them, or I think they import some of the Woodland Scenics products into the UK and put it in their kits, something like that. But basically some of this stuff is Woodland Scenics product, which means that it's going to be decent because Woodland Scenics makes amazing stuff. So yes, so you get 2 pots of the snow with rubber bands around the pot to make sure that the pot doesn't open in transit and snow goes everywhere and then becomes kind of useless because it gets contaminated with dust in the box, and then it's unusable. So they make sure that doesn't happen by putting rubber bands over the pots. You also get this stuff, which is tailless rocks, grey rocks, for bases and even terrain on your terrain table. Just to get a shot of that. So this is well, it doesn't even feel like actual rock. I think these are actual rocks. I mean, they're really, really light. Really light indeed. So yeah, that can be used just to put on a base, rubble, and so on. You've got this stuff, which is deep snow, which is I haven't tried this yet, but you get 2 mixing sticks and you shake it vigorously and apply it to a base or whatever. When it dries, it's supposed to give the impression of, well, deep snow instead of soft powdery snow that's just been it's just freshly fallen. Instead it gives a kind of like snow that's been there for a little while, it's hardened a little bit, that kind of thing. So it's supposed to give that kind of impression. I'll probably get around to using this soon. Haven't actually used this yet. And actually I saw in one of Basecraft's videos that they actually pre-mix this stuff now. It used to come non-pre-mixed. You had to kind of mix it up yourself, but people frequently didn't get the right proportion of 1 part of this to 2 parts that or whatever, so they started to pre-mix it for people, so to make it easier on you. This stuff is weathering pigment. This is Basecraft's own product. This is Snow White. It's just if you're familiar with pigments, it's just a weathering pigment. You can apply it to, I don't know, vehicles and terrain and stuff, and it's a kind of powdery kind of stuff. You know, you can mix it with other things to create things like slush and whatever. Also, they sent me a couple of free samples. These come in every kit, and these are random, so you don't know what you're going to get. I got some autumn leaves, which could be handy to maybe go for maybe a kind of an autumn crossing over to winter thing. Just getting that shot. Yeah, sort of like a seasonal crossover look. You know, some autumn leaves on the base, some wintry leaves on the base, and you know, makes it look like the seasons are changing. So you know, I could maybe do that. So that's the autumn leaves free sample. And you also get, well, I also got this coarse sand sample, which is kind of like it's like a sugary type of sand, grainy sand. So yeah, those are my free samples. You might get something else. You might get bricks, or you might get, if you don't buy the winter kit, you might get a snow sample. You know, who knows what you'll get. But you usually get two. Well, yeah, you always get two free samples in the kit. Next is this, which is medium slate, which I've already used on 1 or 2 bases for other models. This is heavier than the Talus rocks. These actually feel like slate. I think this is actual slate. And this, you know, this stuff can be used on vehicles. It's got little pieces inside as well, like, you know, smaller pieces that can be used on infantry if you want to. Let's see, grass tufts. So this is grass tuft, which I haven't used yet, and you have to be really careful because this stuff tends to fall out once you've taken it out of the pot. But this is, if you're familiar with not static grass, you know, other types of grass tufts, then this is the same sort of thing. You get a pair of tweezers, you pluck this off the backing paper, and then stick it down on your model using PVA glue, super glue, or whatever you use for that. This is fine turf soil, which I'm going to show you. Look, see, it's got some static grass in it now. This is fine turf soil, which I'll show you a bit later on, because I'll be using this to base the model with. So you'll see that in more detail in a few moments. This is natural leaves, which is a sort of a wintry kind of leaf. They're not real leaves, they're laser cut synthetic leaves. But you see, it's kind of a wintry kind of look. Then you also get fallen branches, which is well, just twigs basically. I think these are actually real. These aren't synthetic. These are real twigs. And some people say, well, yeah, why don't you just go out into your back garden and, you know, go and, you know, find this stuff yourself? And, well, yeah, you could. Or you could let Basecrafts do the work for you and send it to you as part of the kit. You know, up to you. And lastly, you've got lichen, which you can use on bushes and, you know, things like that. Very spongy. Try to actually get into shot. Very spongy kind of material. Let's go down deeper into the pot. So you get quite a bit of it. Yeah, that's just for like small bushes and stuff. You can use this on maybe a walker base, maybe an infantry base as well. And then, you know, maybe put some PVA glue over the top, sprinkle some snow over the top, and, you know, you've got like a snowy kind of bush effect. So that's what's in this kit. This is a winter basing kit. There's other kits they do as well, like the urban kit, the woodland kit, and so on and so forth. You know, go to basecrafts.com, have a look. And so next I'm going to base a Battle Grenadier, the one I showed you earlier, with some of these materials. Okay, so now I'm going to base the Battle Grenadier's leader, or at least this particular unit of Battle Grenadiers' leader. I'm going to base him using some snow, some Talus rocks, one Talus rock, and some soil. And as you can see, I've also now got my glue brush. You should always, if you're using PVA glue, you should just get a cheap brush from somewhere and use that brush as your glue brush, because it will get really kind of sticky. And let's get into the shot so I can show you. You know, it won't look very good after a few times using it as a glue brush. So yeah, don't use one of your nice brushes for gluing. Use a glue brush. So I've got my glue brush, my palette to put some PVA glue in. Got some water as well, some super glue, because I found that when you're using stone or rock material, for me anyway, it's better to use super glue to glue that stuff down instead of using PVA glue. I just get better results with super glue. And this is actually Loctite super glue. This is actually super glue with a brush, so you can brush on the glue instead of having to kind of daub it on with, you know, the usual bottles that you get. So yep, super glue, which yes, it does stink. Oh, the fumes. And I've got some PVA glue as well. This is just Ryman PVA glue. If you're not familiar with Ryman, they're a chain of stationers here in the UK. And yeah, this is just regular white glue. You know, doesn't matter what brand you use, as long as it's white glue, as long as it's fairly decent, as long as it sticks things. Okay, so let's get on and base this guy. So PVA glue, and I've got to be careful here to get everything, make sure everything stays in shot. So let's get some PVA glue. Get that brush really you know, nice and wet and usable again for glue. And also if your brush is wet, then you know, that's okay. You can it's not exactly like washing down your glue, but it's sort of like that. So normally with other games you'd have to score your base. You know, you get a hobby knife and you just, you know, score the base to give the glue something to hang on to. But dust bases are textured. Try and show you that up there on the camera. See, there's a texture on the base, which lets the PVA glue, you know, it gives the same effect. You know, it gives the PVA glue something to stick to. So let's get some glue, and I'm just going to dab this all over the bottom of the miniature. Try to keep it in shot. So just all over the miniature, and also put some glue over his boots. You know, I see too many people when they base, they religiously avoid the boots of the miniature, and it's like, well, you know, especially if you're doing snow, you know, this guy's been walking through the snow, and you know, his boots don't have some magical you know, repellent to snow. You know, he's gonna, you know, he's walking in the snow, and you know, he's gonna get snow in his boots. So you know, put some glue on his boots to show that, you know, he's actually walking in something. You know, so try to keep it in shot. It's the first time I've done a video of this sort, so I have to be careful to keep things in shot. Let's just put a bit more glue on. Really lay it on, because it's all going to dry up, and you know, you don't want your basing materials to come off. So make sure the glue is all on there like that. That's pretty good. And now, Mr. Battle Grenadier, we're going to do some soil. You may ask, why not snow first? Why use soil at all? And the answer to that is because snow doesn't fall on a base, you know, of this kind. You know, snow falls on the ground, and on the ground there's likely to be dirt, concrete, something like that, you know, but you know, more than likely it's going to be dirt on the ground, and then snow is going to fall on that dirt. So first you put some soil down, and then you just layer snow on top of that. I mean, you may prefer to do it differently, but hey, this is how I do it. So the point of this is to overload the Mini with the basing material and then shake it off. So you kind of overload it. I'm not sure if you can see that. I'll be using the same technique with the snow, so I'll zoom in a bit later and show you what I'm doing. But basically, you overload it. I'm not actually this messy when I base. Maybe it's just trying to keep the camera, keep things in shot. So that's why it's getting a bit messy. So there you go. So you overload the material onto the base, shake it off, and then you get a nice base like this. I've missed a, getting shot. I've actually missed a bit there, which is okay. I'm actually going to dab just a little bit of glue on there and put it back. Just try to get that like that. There, I've got a bit of base material on my brush, but that's okay. Whoop. See, I've got to learn how to keep this stuff in shot. Okay, so not sure if you can see that or not. Okay, and then let's just get some basing material on there, really pile it on, shake it off. And now we've got a Battle Grenadier with some dirt under him and on his boots. Okay, so in the next bit I'm going to zoom in a bit so you can actually see what I'm doing with the basing, and I'm going to be putting some snow on this guy. Oh, and a rock as well. Okay, so I've zoomed in to show you, so to let you see hopefully a little bit better how I'm doing all this. Let's get some snow. This is Basecrafts snow. You might notice, I don't know if the SD camera will show this, but you might notice that it's slightly contaminated, because I've been using this already. I'm not too fussed about that, to be honest. You know, snow is never pure white. So, you know, when the product gets to you, it will be kind of, you know, like a pure white snow. It won't be contaminated by anything. And as you use it, you might, you know, get little bits of things inside it, you know, but I don't worry too much about that. You know, it's kind of like real life, and the whole point is to make this stuff look as realistic as possible. So let's get the brush, and you can see our Battle Grenadier here. I'm just going to add some water to my glue, just by putting the brush in the water, in my pot of water, and just, you know, mixing it up with the glue, just so it's a little bit more runnier. Oop, gets in the shot, and there we go. So it's a little bit runnier, or a little bit nicer. Even with all the light in this room, I really can't tell if this is coming out on camera or not, so I really hope it does come out in the final version. Again, get some snow in his boots because he's, you know, trudging through the snow. His boots don't have an anti-snow repellent device on them. Or I don't know, they might do. This is dust. You know, it's dust. Anything could happen. You know, dust doesn't follow the rules of World War II exactly. I mean, for crying out loud, there's zombies in this thing and sentient gorillas, so anything could happen. Okay, let's wash out the brush. And let's go and put some snow on this guy. Actually, I should probably zoom in even further just to show you this particular part. So let's zoom in further. Okay, that should be zoom enough. This camera actually has a 72 times zoom, optical zoom, so should be able to get in as close as we need to. Okay, so as before, just pile the snow on and shake it off. If you're basing an entire unit, then normally you would be, you know, like doing all the dirt on on your models, and then coming back to the first one and doing all the first layer of snow, and then come back to the first one again and then do the second layer of snow on each one, and so on. You know, that kind of conveyor belt type method of basing. And you know, just pile on the snow and then shake it off, pile on the snow again, shake it off, and you can see there's a good layer of snow building up. It's also building up on his feet as well, as you can see. So it looks like he's actually in the snow. He's actually commanding troops in the snow. So there we go. That's the first layer of snow done. Be careful if you're basing battle grenadiers. Be careful of holding them like this, because these guns on the back sometimes come off, and you have to glue them back on again with a bit of super glue, because it is like the turret guns, the turret MG on the walkers, on the medium walkers. That is a really small join right there, where the rocket launcher Panzerfaust attaches to his back. That is a really small surface area for a join. So sometimes it comes, not always, not often. You know, maybe 1 in 8 models might come off. I don't know. And now what I'm going to do is actually put a rock before we go on to the next layer of snow. What I should do first is pick up this snow that's on the table. Okay, so now I'm going to put a rock down on the battle grenadier. Let's get this guy in shot before I go for my next layer of snow. So this should be okay. Let's get something flat actually, something a bit flatter. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, this should be okay, I think. For rock purposes. Alright, battle grenadier, let's rock. So, first thing I'm going to do is get some super glue. Clear out some of the snow. Whoop. Get some super glue. And this is the brush on style super glue. So all you have to do is brush it on like that. Whoop. Keep forgetting to. Somebody should invent a camera specifically for doing these types of videos with a mode like that. When you, if your fingers leave the shot, it sounds an alarm or something. I don't know. Technology, get to it. Okay, so now I'm going to get this rock and put it somewhere on the model. Let's just put it in front of him. I can see that it's pulled up some of the dirt as well, which is okay. So yep, he's got this rock now in front of him. I'm just going to recoat this with some glue. And load it with some snow. And there you are. We're back to the plan. So I'm going to let this dry for a little while and then come back and put another coat of snow on top. Okay, so this guy has been drying for a few minutes. The glue I should say, has been drying, and I'm now going to put a second layer of snow on top just to build up the snow, make it look a little bit thicker, you know. So let's put some glue on here on the rock, because, well, snow's not going to avoid the rock, is it? It's gonna fall on the rock. So, you know, just get on the back of his boots as well. Okay, so let's turn this guy around. As usual, load the snow on top of the base, shake it off, load it on, shake it off. You see, it's starting to build now. The layers of snow are starting to appear, and you can just keep doing this until you're happy with how much, you know, the amount of snow that you have on your model. So see, it's a fairly good bunch of snow. Just maybe wipe the edges of the base. You can see the snow starting to build up. And you know, I'll go ahead and put a third layer on this guy as well. But I'm not going to, you know, I'm not going to keep, you know, showing you, you know, me putting layers of snow on a guy. You know, I think you get the general idea. So yeah, there you go. That is basing a dust miniature with Basecrafts. The Basecrafts basing kits are about £12 each, so you know, they're really not expensive at all. As you've seen, you do get a lot of stuff in the kit, and it's ideal for basing, you know, any game, including Dust. So thanks for watching, everyone. Like if you like the video, dislike if you dislike it. Comment in the video's comments if you have something to say about the video. If you'd like to, you know, just leave a comment, that'd be really nice. And subscribe as well to be notified when the next video is going to go up, or when the next video has gone up. So once again, thanks for watching, everyone, and see ya.